I'm getting really tired of working in here. I'm installing the diesel heater, and this is where I got to go. This is my third day of working down in this freaking hole. Oh, and it hurts so bad. So one interesting thing we have to do is somehow get this little valve to stick out of the side down here. So what I did was I ran a wire out through the bottom, and we're going to thread this little piece on this wire, hopefully, and see if we can. We got it. It came out on the wire on the bottom. Now, it's killing my arm. So that worked. We got it in there. Now you put your little washer on, and then the nut. Tighten the crap out of it so it doesn't leak. But that's a nice little trick to get that down in there where it needs to be. Now I know the reason I put this here, it's not up here because that would be giving me even less gas. Ideally it would be down here, and it does have a built-up lip, so even if you're installing it to the bottom, you're not going to get the crap floating in the bottom because it's going to stick up about a ½ inch. But because I'm setting this flat like this, I couldn't put it on the bottom, so I got it as low as possible without putting it in the curve either. I put it on the lowest flat spot. So that should be it. So it's just ready now. Yeah, what at first seemed like impossible. How the hell are you gonna get that in there? But yeah, you just gotta find a piece of wire long enough, and what I did was ran the wire through the hole and up out the spout, dropped it on and slid it back down. So it's hard to even show what I did down here. Is why I didn't film actually doing it. We have the connections that come down. Right there is the little pump, connects to the tank there. The tank is strapped to the side. The vent, oops, you can see the vent goes up there. Getting this all in there was not easy. Like I said, there was no point in trying to film it. Down here is my water pump that I put back on. That's my wash down pump. Up here, I don't know if you can see it, but here I wrap the pipe so that where it gets close to the fiberglass, it doesn't actually touch it. Seems like I live down in this section of the boat. This is the air intake for the diesel heater. All I did was got a bilge pump through hole fitting. It's 1 inch, and then I attached that. Alright, so as you can see here, what I did was remodified this I had made. Used to have the fan directly here in the center, but I put in a smaller fan over here, and I used this for the exhaust. This is just a light socket cover that's actually stainless steel. So I just drilled a hole in it and stuck the pipe through there. Not the most perfect situation, but the plate was about $4 and a through hole fitting is about $60, so yeah, we went with that. But I already had that space there, so there was no point in like trying to find another place and drilling another hole or whatever. I could just come out of right there. So there seems to be enough space, and it should be okay there. But boy, was it a pain getting it there. On the side of the cabinet. That's your control unit. Alright, so basically what I did was I still have to cut those off. These little clips that you run a zip tie through. You put a screw through the bottom. I put those on. I put 3 of those on to keep this up across here. So that keeps that up and out of the way. And then, as you can see, it ends there. I have a vent I might put on the end of that, but either way, it stops right behind the curtain here. So when the curtain's drawn, you won't really see anything. Yeah, so you can hear that running. A little ticking sound is the pump. It's got a little piston inside that goes up and down. What I'm going to try to do now, pretty hot. Yeah, definitely will burn you if you touch it. I was really worried about this gap right here, so I put some insulation on it. It's the best I can do. I had to get a whole new hose to reroute that. Again, I'm checking that. It's warm, but not hot at all. I don't think it's going to melt that. Everything seems to be holding up okay. It's been running for a while. It's definitely, the plate is warm, but it doesn't it won't burn you to touch it. That's working okay. That's the inlet I installed for the intake. You can hear it's sucking air. It's down there and the exhaust is all the way over here. This thing works, man. It's 108 blowing out of there. This is our little controller. $140 coming out of there. That blows. Okay. Our next problem is this. This hinge is broke just a little bit, but the insides, I guess, are so grooved out that when you put it on, it seems like it's closed, but the stereo just pulls it off. So we're gonna the reason I'm taking this one off is because I kind of measured it. It's 11 by 15, I think. Yeah, 15 by 11. And just randomly looking at them last night, an 11 by 15 was like $60 freaking. But then I saw some that were slightly bigger that were cheaper. So if I got to trim a little bit more, it covers a little bit more, I just wanted to take it off and make sure I was not going to hit anything. We got this little thing. So yeah, we got to come up with that. So we can go just a little bit bigger. On my little hatch here, searching around, I noticed that that size hatch is expensive, like 60 bucks. There's one that's 10. It's an odd measurement. I'll put a link down to it below. But this one is an odd measurement, but it must be a popular hatch for something, because these are half the price. So I went in, yeah, you can see a little bit around the edge where the old one was, but oh well. At least this one actually has a good latch. The other one just had a little spring-loaded catch that was supposed to hold it. And when the hinges at the bottom wallered out, it wouldn't hold it and it'd just fall open. But this one actually locks. But like I said, I'll put a link below because it is literally half the price. It must just be a more popular one. Alright, so I didn't really film it because I was in a hurry. There was a storm coming in yesterday. But the last thing I did was install these little clips here for my boat hook. Nice place, nice, easy, safe place to keep it where it's easy access. And I love this boat hook. The reason I love this boat hook is because not only is it a boat hook, but it's a really nice brush with a squeegee on the back. So yeah, I splurged a little bit on the boat hook, I do have to admit. But actually, that brush is coming in very handy so far. Do it again. Okay, so I finally got those heaters installed. That was a big job. A lot of time. The reason I didn't film it as much as I wanted to, but I'm tired still, and in these areas it's so tight and so cramped, there was really no way to get me and a camera in there and be able to film it, like, especially that diesel heater. I spent 4 days down in that little cramped hole fitting that heater, making sure everything would fit in there, trying to figure out would it fit in there, how is this all going to go. Yeah, it was 3 or 4 days down in that hole, and like I said, it was just impossible to film it. It's too tight. The heater core was actually not that bad. My problem was getting the fittings. I kept getting the wrong stuff, and the local stores didn't have the stuff. I had to order stuff, so it took some time to get all the fittings right. But I showed you how I ran those. The reason the heater is located where it is back here in the back is because I'd rather blow the air than suck the water. That pump has to recirculate that water through, and the longer you run those hoses, the more strain it puts on it. And if you run it too far, you actually have to put an auxiliary pump in the system to keep the water flowing. The way I have that set up is it's no different than a heater core in a Chevrolet pickup, by the length of the lines run. So that's why I put it in the back. Trust me, I hate having the hoses hanging like they are. It's horrible. But like I said, in this boat, that is a garage, not an aft cabin. That's all storage. Nobody's sleeping back there. Nobody's going back there. So it was better to do it that way and just run those hoses. All of it can be undone. Like, all that stuff can be taken out. The only thing that was cosmetic that changed that can't be undone is that I did put the vent in there. Like I said, this vent, there was already a hole here. I just widened it out. You can put the cup holder back over that hole. That one, you have to leave the vent in place. Now, if you decided to take it out, you could just leave the vent and not hook anything up to it. But that's the only one cosmetically that I actually did have to modify. And the hole in the back where the vent comes in, I don't know, you just put something over that, but I had no choice. But the reason I did the 2 different heaters is, like I said, the heater core only works if the boat is running it up to temperature. So you don't want to be sitting here with your boat just idling constantly trying to get heat. When you're running around, I've got heat up here, I've got heat inside. When I shut the boat down and it's late at night, I can hit a switch and the diesel heater comes on. The diesel heater, it doesn't use all that much diesel. So you can run it for quite a while and just a little electricity blowing hot air into the boat. So now that's the way they sit, the way they, they sit that way for a reason. But yeah, like I said, I wish I could have filmed more of it. It was just really hard areas to get to. I am tired and cranky, and yeah. As for what's going on, this year screwed my plans absolutely, completely. Everything that I'm doing now, I figured would have been done back in before July, the end of June, July. And I figured by now I would already have the boat in water somewhere. And I really want to get over to the coast. I'm up in the mountains. I'm nowhere near the coast. I really wanted to get the boat to the water and test it out and then haul it over to the coast. But I thought I would have done all that stuff already. Now I'm not sure if I want to try to go to the coast this year because we're already well into September. By the time like I said, I've still got to get this in the water and test everything out. I don't want to just take a brand new everything and drop it in the water in the middle of nowhere and then have to try to figure that out. But so yeah, honestly I don't know what's going on. I think I might just have the boat put in a marina locally and try to play around with it for a couple of months before it gets too cold. But I think any travel plans this year are just toast, because it's, like I said, I'm thankful because it's been busy, but now I'm running into, I still got orders right now that I should be working on, but I have no materials. I can't get lumber. The order's been in. It was supposed to have been delivered. I have no idea where it is. It has just become plumb stupid. Lowe's, I was waiting on $1,400 worth of boards, and they show up with 3 sheets of plywood from another store. That's it. I'm still waiting on $1,400 worth of boards. I thought that one was bad, then they get it worse. I have an $1,800 order in, and a truck shows up here with 5 bucket lids. That's it. That's the whole order. $1,800, and all they showed up with was 5 bucket lids. Now I have no idea where that lumber is or when it's going to be delivered. The other problem I have is lumber prices are insane. Last year I was paying $1.97 for a 2x4. Right now, they're anywhere from about $7.33 up to almost $8 for that same 2x4. So what used to be a $25 input into a coupe is now like an $85 input. It's killed my profit. So I'm kind of hung. I'm like, do I want to try to keep trying to make some money, or am I just going to waste my time? Or I have no idea what I'm doing. Like I said, I've worn down, and then I had something happen with my arm. I have this like rash thing going on. It's been waking me up at night. It's been about a week. I think it may have been a spider bite. I thought maybe because I'm still having problems with this muscle from doing the same thing. I think I added to it, the sawdust gets in here, and this is the arm I'm constantly working and moving and scraping on my side, and it's got sawdust in it, and yeah, I don't know, just made some kind of reaction. I did have a little bite here, but the bite went away, so I don't know if it was a spider bite that got infected or what the heck's going on. It's getting better now, but yeah, that's sucked. It's made me cranky because I've not been able to sleep, and it wakes me up, and my arm is just waking me up on fire in the middle of the night. And I'll put like calamine and all this other crap on it, and it seems okay, and you're laying there, but like I said, in the middle of the night, it just wham, wake you up. So yeah, like I said, I'm like everybody else, I don't really know what's going on anymore. So the only thing I have to do now is basically get the little dinghy put up in here, and that's it. We're done. About time to get this thing in the water finally. It's been a long road.